Yes, these are the books that I'm most looking forward to reading this month. This isn't even all of them that I will be reading. This whole month will be actually insane for getting reading done. I've built out so many systems and processes in my business that I can literally carve out 5, 6, 7 hours of reading time every single day, and my business isn't going to fall apart. That's actually the idea behind this book right here, The 2 Week Vacation Test by Austin Netzley. And the idea there is basically if you can't take a 2 week vacation without your entire business falling apart, then you really have to reevaluate basically what you're even doing in business. So that's one book that I'm really looking forward to. I've also just got a ton of other excellent books on the go. One I've been looking forward to for a really, really long time, and it's short too. I have no excuse not to finish it. It's called The Undiscovered Self by Carl Jung. Now, obviously, it's not a fast read, even though it is short. I'll be, pausing to think about his ideas, consider their full implications and all of that. So I'm not going to rush through it just because it's short, but it's like 100 and something pages, and these are not long pages either, so should be relatively quick. Same with another book on here, actually, My Inventions by Nikola Tesla, which I didn't even know he wrote a book himself. And this is another super short one. It's like 100 pages long. I can pretty much rip through it, and I know it's going to be really, really good. Basically, the inner mind workings of a super genius, which always makes for a good reading experience. And I've even got some science fiction on the go too, which is one of my favorite genres actually. But I never read science fiction anymore. It's been a long time since I've sat down and just read a sci-fi book. But my friend Nat, he wrote Husk. Previously, I really enjoyed his nonfiction book Crypto Confidential, but I've never read any of his fiction. The others all kind of blitz through. I'm in various sort of stages of completion of a lot of these books. This one is actually going to be really good. It's a friend of mine. Again, his name's Derek Kinney, and his book is called Good Money Revolution: How to Make More Money to Do More Good, which is an idea that I can really get behind. I think that whole premise is something that I fully support. And two business type books, one by another friend of mine, Dave Greta. It's called Across the Street from Wall Street. And I don't think too many people know about this book, but it comes very highly regarded. I've been saving it for a time when I can really, dive in when I don't have too many other responsibilities and just things cluttering my mind. And now I'm kind of in the right headspace to read it. So that's going to be a really good one. And same with this one, How to Live an Extraordinary Life by Anthony Pompliano, which is another very quotable book that I've seen, pop up all the time on Instagram and, across the internet. It's one of those books that just looks really, really good. And I bought it maybe a few weeks ago, and it's getting up, higher and higher on that reading list. So I'm finally going to get to it this month. And if this looks like a lot of books, you're right. It is a lot of books. It's funny the way I kind of do things is I set these sort of public goals and declarations, and then in private I set like bigger ones. And this is sort of to not protect myself, but you know what I mean. So like if I set some like super like ridiculous ambitious thing in public and then I just fall stupidly short of it, which has happened before. It's not the best feeling, but this time I'm basically just gonna tell you. July, I'm gonna read 31 books, which is you know admirable, stupid, challenging. It's all of those things and more. But I know I can do it, and yeah, I'm really committing to it this time. And I mean, a lot of these books are not going to take all that long. Like the Pompliano one, How to Live an Extraordinary Life. Like it's not something that's going to take me the entire day. And then this one is going to be pretty short too. It's basically the collected poems. One of my favorite Sufi poets. His name is Rumi. You've seen his poems all over the internet. They always get shared far and wide. Somebody quotes Rumi. Like his poetry is amazing. It's survived 1,000 years, 1,000-ish years. I forget exactly what his dates are. But anyway, this is called the Essential Rumi. I've had this, on my shelf for a couple of years probably. And I've read another Sufi poet, Hafiz, and I'm big fans of both of those people, both those poets. So I'm finally going to dive into this one as well. And the last books here, I will race through them, not because they're they're less than the other ones, but I never like to, go too long on these videos. Um, that being said, I am planning a much longer video in the future that I'm working on every single day. That's going to be like an hour long with 100 of my absolute favorite books summarized in one sentence. I think that video is going to do really well, but it's also going to be like it's going to be well over an hour long. But this one will not be over an hour long. Next, we've got Built to Finish by Stephen Pivnik, and it's about business and endurance racing. And he's like a marathoner, like ultra marathoner, and he recently went off to like scale Mount Everest, and he sold his company for like 8 figures. Like he's doing big things in big places, and his book is called Built to Finish. I'm about halfway through this one. Then we've got God or Space by Walter Mayer, another friend of mine from Instagram, and it's Rewiring the Human Perception of Time. This is quite good. I'll have a lot more to say about this in future videos. What else? The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, an absolute classic. And yeah, this one's really good too. I'm on page like 60 or 65 or something like that. It's just it's charming. A word that I don't use very often, but it's charming. And then the last two are books about books, and one's called The Library at Night by Alberto Mangual, and he's the author of one of my favorite books about books. It's called A History of Reading. So The Library at Night is absolutely one I'm going to read. And then this last one is called Book and Dagger. It's basically how professors and literati and stuff and people like that, librarians and people like that were recruited as spies during World War II. And it's a nonfiction account, like it's a true story. It's not fiction, and it looks really good. It was just a random bookstore find, and I found it a month ago, 2 months ago, and it's finally go from here to here. So those are the books I'm most looking forward to reading. I'm gonna finish 31 books this month. I'm on track. Like I'm gonna make it. I finished a book yesterday, and I'm gonna finish another book today. And there's actually another really good book I read many years ago, and it's called Tolstoy and the Purple Chair. And the premise behind the book, it's a true story. It's nonfiction, but this woman read 365 books in a single year, one book per day, and she did it kind of differently than I did. Whereas like me, I'll read 50 pages in one and 75 pages in another, like in the same day. But for her challenge, she would start and finish a book on the same day, which is just crazy. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm going for here. I'm going to read 31 books in 31 days, and I'm just going to go for it. And I'm not going to hold back at all. I can absolutely do it. I've got the focus, I've got the time, I've got the business systems. And speaking of business systems, you might have heard of my private business mastermind on School. Basically, it's for educational content creators like me. I want to go full time. Like, this is what I do full time. I'm at about $5,000 per month in top line revenue, and like, which isn't major, but it qualifies me to teach people that are a few steps behind me that want to do something similar, either with books or in some other sort of educational capacity. Like if you teach anyone anything, and you want to do that professionally online as a career, join the community in the first link in the video description. It'll take you right there. It'll tell you a lot more about it. Thanks for watching this video. You might also like this video right here, which is 10 fascinating books that will increase your intelligence. And always remember, bookmarks are for quitters, and even if no one else believes in you, I do.
I don't waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating.